So here we are up on beautiful Manitoulin Island, and a couple of things about the island. It is the largest freshwater island in the world. It contains over 100 lakes, and it actually has the largest island freshwater lake in the world on it. Absolutely beautiful place, and I've been hunting up here since the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. That kind of dates me. But a wee bit of history about the island. It was one of the, or if it's not the oldest, certainly one of the oldest archaeological finds of indigenous people is on Manitoulin Island. And it made news back in the day when it was discovered. So it dates back approximately to 10,000 BC, so the paleo area of archaeology on this continent. The natives, the word Manitoulin is derived from spirit of the cave, and that's where this find actually took place. So if you think about the indigenous people living here, if we fast forward a number of thousand years to the woodland period of archaeology, it was inhabited by three groups, confederacy if you would, of the Potawatomi, the Ottawa, and the Ojibwe. And they were known as the people of the three fires. So first contact with Europeans would have been 1615, when Samuel de Champlain meets a couple of hundred Ottawa warriors, I believe in a place called Collins Bay. I'm not quite sure about that, but that would have been first contact, followed in 1648 by the first Jesuit mission on this island. Other contact with Europeans would have been the North Channel of the island, because for the voyageurs and the fur trade, they used that route for over 300 years. It was the safest route. If they followed the south shore of Manitoulin Island, they were exposed to the rigors of Lake Huron in full force. If they followed the North Channel on the route to Superior, it gave them at least a brief safety net, if you would. So they had the voyageur contact, the Jesuit contact, they had Champlain's contact, and disease just rampantly spread across the island. Either wiped most of them out, or they departed because they simply couldn't maintain their cultured lifestyle here. So the island itself that I'm standing on remained uninhabited for over 150 years. So along comes the War of 1812, and after it, the war is over, they started the Indian Removal Act in the States. So a lot of the tribes, Ojibwe, that had been loyal to the King of England during the War of 1812, resettled Manitoulin Island. The next major thing that happens here in, I think it's 1846, I may be wrong about that date, is the McDougall Treaty. And essentially that opened up the island for European settlement. The only thing is, it remains to this day a portion of the island was unceded. There was a particular chief that just absolutely refused to sign any treaty with Europeans, and as a result, we have a small bit of Canada that remains totally unceded to any European. And anyway, we got a bit of snow last night, which is going to help. We've been out poking around. The hunt actually starts tomorrow morning, and the snow's helping. We're seeing all kinds of signs. So we've got a couple of deer harvested in our first hunt down home, and with any luck, we're going to put another deer in our food cache for the winter. So we've just returned from Manitoulin Island from our deer hunt. Uh, if you grew up in a hunting culture like I did, growing up on a farm, hunting in the fall is like a rite of passage. And I've been going to Manitoulin for decades. And anyway, we got skunk this year. So, and I think that's a first for Manitoulin Island. There are a lot of deer. We saw some. It just wasn't right. And some does and fawns. Anyway, we came back meatless. We do have 2 deer from the first hunt this fall, and there's another muzzleloader season coming up starting a week from Monday. So I'm not going to work really hard at it, but I'll probably be out there for a morning or afternoon or two to see if we can uh, improve the amount of meat we have in our cache. Anyway, we're starting into winter now, and although spring is the period of time one builds birch bark canoes, we're going to get a kickstart on it. So I'm going to put up a temporary shelter for my shaving horse, and I'm going to split out the cedar logs I've pulled out, and I'm going to pre-make all the ribs, the sheathing that goes horizontally along the canoe, and I've got the gunnels cut out too. They're about 20 feet long. That wasn't easy, but I got them out, so we'll get them shaped, and then in the spring we'll start another search for birch bark. So this spring we tested, I think, about 30 trees, and some were close but not really good enough quality. And there's no sense putting 600 to 700 hours into a project with inferior material. So if I get all the parts done, stow them away for the winter, and then in the spring we'll go on a search once again for that birch bark, and hopefully we're building a birch bark canoe first thing in the spring. And I'm going to put up a shelter for it.